Italy is a country where I will return again and again because of its beauty and what's more important, its personality. I've been to multiple Italian cities like Rome, Venice, Vatican City, and now Florence. And it's true, Florence is like the pearl of Italy. Each corner is overflowing with grand art. I will show you how I spent one of the days in this beautiful city. First of all, by my standards, Florence is the absolute walkable city. Me and my mom love walking and never use city transportation. Traveling like this allows us to appreciate every wall, every corner, and every hidden spot there is. This is how we stumbled upon Andrea Roggi's sculpture, The Tree of Peace, which he donated to the city of Florence. The sculpture is the symbol of better future and was made in the name of 1993 May tragedy that happened at this place. For breakfast, we went to a cafe which was overlooking the main square, and of course we ordered tiramisu. I have yet to find tiramisu outside of Italy that I like, but in Italy every single one tastes amazing. After this, we continued sightseeing. Do you know what this is? According to the legend, this is a work by Michelangelo on Vecchio walls. There are multiple wall carvings like this around the city, and it is said that Michelangelo was flexing on his talents to young women by going around the city and creating art like this while putting mask on the eyes. I have completely explored Florence Center and its museums the day before, so now we were going to Pitti Palace and Boboli Gardens. The tickets to go into the gardens without viewing all the exhibitions of the palace cost €22 per person, and I bought the tickets on site. Although it was inhabited for about 4 centuries by three dynasties, the Medici, the Habsburg Lorraine, and the Savoy, the palace still bears the name of its first owner, Luca Pitti, a Florentine merchant who had it built as his private residence in the middle of the 15th century. In 1473, Luca Pitti died. The palace was purchased in 1549 by Eleonora of Toledo, Cosimo I Medici's wife. Bartolomeo Amanati, the Grand Duke's favorite architect, extended the main front and rear sections, and behind the palace the magnificent Italian Boboli gardens were created. Therefore, the gardens became the model for royal palaces throughout Europe. Passed in 1860 to the Crown of Italy and inhabited in the years when Florence was the capital of Italy by Victor Emanuele II, Pitti Palace was donated in 1919 by Victor Emanuele III to the Italian state, together with the square and the Boboli Gardens.
Con me è la fisarmonica che continua, continua, continua. Poi ad un tratto la luna.
Probably the most famous fountains in this garden is one with the Neptune. There is a fountain with the same name on the main square, so don't get confused. This one in Boboli Gardens is actually called Fountain of the Fork because of the Neptune's trident. It was created in 1565 by Stoldo Lorenzi for Duke Cosimo I Medici. While taking a stroll in the park, I also saw such fountain in this mosaic style. It's said that the spray of water from this fountain surprises visitors randomly. The Isolotto is one of the most famous locations in Florence's Boboli Gardens. Isolotto means small island. It was built in the 17th century. At the center of the square, it is a large circular basin with the Isolotto in the center, connected to the mainland by two small bridges. It features at regular intervals stone and marble statues depicting mythological, historical, bucolic, and picaresque subjects. The bridges are bordered by two large gateways supported by two columns, on each of which is a statue of Capricorn, symbol of the power of the Grand Duchy of Tuscany. On the sides of the columns are four fanciful fountains in the shape of male harpies. A harpy is a mythical monster from Greek and Roman stories that has the head and the body of a human and the wings and sharp claws of a bird. In the center of the island is the Fountain of the Ocean by Giambologna. In the middle stands the sculpture of Neptune surrounded by water deities. These deities represent the Nile, the Ganges, and the Euphrates rivers, which symbolically pour their waters into the basin, representing the ocean. The Fountain of the Ocean is more ancient than this part of Boboli Gardens, and once stood at the center of the Boboli Amphitheater. You may have heard that in Italy you could buy window wines. During the Renaissance, the small openings emerging from the facades of ancient noble palaces were used to sell wine, just like a wine shop would do nowadays. As the workday ended, tired workers would knock on the wooden shutters from which a glass of wine would be handed over. These windows were located precisely at elbow height so that the exchange could comfortably take place. At this point, the sun was already setting. It was still 4 p.m., but it was January, so the sunset was near, and we wanted to watch it from Michelangelo Square. Even though we were kinda on the clock, we still could not give up walking, so we sat on a 40-minute road. The thing is, we needed to go uphill the whole time, because the square overlooks the whole Florence. It is definitely a must-see place. and it is very popular during sunset. As you can see, we were not walking alone towards it. In Florence, as well in whole Italy, it is very easy to fall in love with each street. But the streets are not only pretty, but they also have unique and fun names. For example, there are street names after Dante Alighieri's Inferno and Purgatory, but also there is Vicolo dello Scandalo, which the Florentine magistracy built between Via del Corso and Via degli Alighieri to separate the rival families. Or Via dei Malcontenti, dissatisfaction, which name derives from those condemned to death, who were brought from the Margello for execution. So this road to the top was very zigzaggy for the cars, but for pedestrians there were direct cuts and stairs in the greenery and we could follow the trails very easily. The square of Michelangelo was built on the hills located south of the Florence's historic center following the design of the architect Giuseppe Poggi. In 1869, Florence was the capital of Italy. In this period, the whole city underwent an intense urban renewal. Riverside walkways following the Arno were created. Also, panoramic tree-lined street of 8 kilometers was created that led to the top of the hill. In 1873, a copy of Michelangelo's David was taken to the square with the help of 9 pairs of oxen. This monument occupies a privileged position, observing the city from above as a guard attentive to all the beauties that the city of Florence offers. This is one of the 3 copies of Michelangelo's David. This copy was made in bronze. When we got to the square, it was already 4:30 and the sun was setting. We arrived right on time. The main stairs was filled, as you can see, so if you want to sit here without disturbing anyone, you should arrive earlier. The views were there for everyone to see and admire. Even when coming home, the views from the riversides were breathtaking. If someone's interested, this is the hotel we stayed at, and I recommend it. It is also basically in the main square. I hope you enjoyed this one day spent in Florence, and don't forget to always work towards your dreams.